This is the way that heaven knows.
Hey guys, Infiniti here, and welcome to a new video. Now I know it's been a week and a half since I've loaded my last video. I was promising that I'd carry on uploading, and it's been a week and a half, and yeah, sorry. But I enjoy doing video logs more now. Now the only problem is with doing video logs is you've got to have a topic to talk about, which you can't just talk about the gameplay because there is no gameplay. Which is the hard bit to come up with, you know, the topics. I have some topics which I could talk about, but I'm not sure if I want to, you know. It's kind of the thing of where it's just like, do I bring up something about your family past, or do I kind of leave it? You know, it's kind of one of them things. Do I just kind of let it go, or do I talk about it to make conversation? That's kind of a situation I'm in right now in my head. So yeah, I guess the first thing I'm actually going to ask is, do any of you guys know any good horrors which aren't that scary? Which doesn't really make any sense. That's like saying, do you guys know any reliable hitmen which don't kill people? You know, it's kind of contradicting itself. I want something which isn't like Saw, because I enjoyed Saw. I really enjoyed Saw. It's probably one of my favourite film series I've ever watched. I really enjoyed it. Absolutely loved it. But it's not scary for me. And kind of the logic behind it is, I was saying to my friends, is that knowing my luck, I'm going to get on a date with the girl that I like, and I'll be like, you know what, this is going to be great, and she'll be like, let's go and see a horror film, and I'm going to be sat there like, let's not, which seems pathetic. So I want to get into horrors, and you know, I thought, you know what, that probably ain't going to happen. This is kind of what I was saying to myself, that probably isn't going to happen. You know, I could always just be like, you know what, I prefer to go and see another film, because I'm really scared and I don't like horror films. Thanks Snoop and Buddy, you know, I can't just blame Snoop, but you know. So then like a couple days pass, and then the person that sits next to me in sociology was like, you know what, I almost guarantee that the girl you like is going to ask you on a date and she'll be like, let's go and see a horror film. And I was like, you know what, I had the exact same thought as you a couple days ago. You know, this isn't just by coincidence, is it? Like, this is a common thing, that people that go on dates go and see horror films, which is a terrible idea, because like, you know, you want to get to know someone. I don't understand this, okay? I have an idea of what we can talk about. People go on a first date, right? Like, you know what? Let's go to the cinema. The whole point of going on a first date, right, is to get to know each other, you know? Not to sit and look at a screen together, you know? It's not really a great idea of a date. I can understand it as like a third or fourth date, you know, once you've got to know each other, once you actually know each other a little bit, which is the exact same thing. I literally just repeated myself. But on as a first date, right? Who wants to meet each other, be like, oh, hey, you know, nice to meet you, and then at the end of the film be like, see you like next week. That's pretty much as much conversation as you get, you know. What's the point in it? A first date, you go to like, you know, you'd go to like to get a meal, you know, and I'm not meaning like McDonald's, you know. You don't go to a place where you sit and be silent. That's like going on a first date in a library, you know. It just doesn't really make any sense. The whole idea is to bond and get to know each other and know what each other's interests are and see what each other like, which is literally the exact same thing. What I'm repeating myself so much. You don't sit there and be like, you know what, I just got a notification. You know what, that is actually a great name. Like, I've got to say that is it is just J. Yes. So yeah, I don't really understand when people go on first dates to the cinema. In all honesty, it doesn't really make any sense to me. So yeah, but if that did happen, which it probably won't, because you know I'm all alone. You know, I want to laugh about that, but it's not a joke. You know, I don't want to be in that situation of where it's just like, let's go and see Ouija 2. I haven't watched Ouija, so I don't know what it's like. It was just the first horror film that came to mind, and I'd be like, you know what, I'd prefer to go and see Frozen 2. That's more my style, you know, than Ouija, because I'm scared of horror films. That'd be really awkward for me. So yeah, that's why I kind of want to get into horror films a little bit. So I've watched Final Destination. I've watched Saws. I'm kind of watching. Watched like most of the Hannibal films. I think I have one or two left, and I'm gonna watch the TV series. And I have watched Wrong Turn, and I really enjoyed all of them, and I am enjoying them, including Hannibal, because you know I'm still watching them. So I really enjoyed all of them. But if you have any like really weak horrors which like aren't that scary, bear in mind, like, put it into context. The one context. You know, I don't even know why I call myself a commentator when I can't actually say my words correctly. Into context, the woman in black scared me. You know, it didn't sort of like mentally scar me for days, but you know, it scared me while I was watching it. It wasn't an enjoyable experience. So if you have any good horrors, which are decent films, which aren't like overly cheesy and aren't that strong, which I think is probably an impossibility within sort of like the horror scene, I'd really appreciate if you guys would like sort of tell me the names of the films in the comments. You know, I'd really appreciate that, because I want to get into horrors, I really do, because I feel really pathetic that like everyone's just like, yeah, I love horrors, and I'm sat there like, yay, Dexter. You know, which by the way, Dexter's great, I just thought I'd recommend it there. It's not a horror at all, you know, just in case you was kind of making that connection there, but it's not. I mean, unless you find like a psychopathic serial killer which killed 135 people horror, which some would, but you know, it's not as if you sit there and be like, oh no, Dexter's gonna kill somebody, because that's kind of the point of it. That's like going on a roller coaster and be like, oh no, this will move. Of course it's gonna. I don't like roller coasters either. Okay, I'm really bad, aren't I? Like, it's kind of just dawning on me. Okay, it's kind of always dawned on me. I just never really brought it up into perspective of like, I don't like horror films, I don't like heights, I don't like wasps, and I don't like roller coasters. So if I was like watching a horror film while on a really high roller coaster with wasps flying around me, that would be pretty much the peak of fear for me. So I'm literally just going to say thanks guys for watching. If you guys share any opinions with me on horror films and any of the sort of things that I said in this video, then please comment in the description. Remember, if you have any sort of good light horror films, write the names in the description. Tell me if there's any jump scares that I want to know. And on that, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.